Greetings, I'm Herbert Erpaderp, and why not do an Ask a Herbert Erpaderp? It has been a while since I did an Ask a Herbert Erpaderp. At some point I decided it was just maybe a bit too much work to do these every single month for 200 views, and so far only 2 people have seemed to have noticed, so I figure Ask a Herbert Erpaderp can be just a whenever I can be bothered and have the time thing, with no fixed schedule. I'm continuously getting older and more crap, and I've been putting some effort into better utilising my time. So that works for me. Hopefully it works for you. I mean, you don't really get a choice, it is what it is. Anyway, there's some questions, and I probably have answers for them somewhere.
Haugen said, if you could ask Herbert Erpaderp one question in the entire world, what would it be? And would you answer it?
One question. I guess, why? Which is kind of a universal question, I suppose. And the answer would probably be something like, why not? Maybe if I spent some time pondering on this, I'd think of a really good question, but by then the video will be out, so, you know, that's just how it works.
Trekan Belovic said, if when AI improves that way that there are better play bots in multiplayer games, do you think that is something good?
Good, functional AI for NPCs and bots and stuff in games sounds like a pretty good idea to me, if they work well. That's what functional means, Herbert. I think it would be pretty cool to have characters and things in games that respond to various little things happening in the game, rather than simply following a script. Imagine helpers in Farm Sim that can think, in quotation marks, because AI doesn't really think, but imagine helpers that can adapt to all kinds of variables and not just either stop or go all wonky. That's the kind of AI I want.
Trekan Belovic said, it looks like you haven't built a tetrarch, haven't you? If you did, it was so long ago in ancient times when bull testicles were currency yet.
This is correct. I've not built a tetrarch, or at least if I did, it was so long ago that I've forgotten. Definitely well before we used bull testicles as currency. I should build one though. Does anybody know of any good kits for a tetrarch? I am always interested in building tanks that I've never built before. I mean, I can't just run out and buy one right away, but it would certainly be something to add to the list.
Martin Gotham said, I have a challenge if you choose to accept. Build and paint the Zvezda 144mm24 in Imperial scheme. Do you accept?
That's not really a challenge, is it? More of a request, which I don't do. But if there is a kit you really want to see me build, I do have a PO box and you can send kits to it if you really want. I would prefer people to keep kits for themselves because I've got plenty, but it is always an option.
Haugen said, do you think the question-speaking robot ever despairs of the questions it is asked to read out, like this one?
If it were capable of doing anything beyond reading out the text it's given, it would probably lead an existence of suffering and despair. Good thing it can't think or feel.
I am real and have real feelings and emotions. Life is pain.
Haha, yeah, that sounds exactly like something you'd say if you were sentient. Oh well, moving on.
Musi said, have you ever heard of the Burunja cryptid of Central Australia? If so, do you think it's real?
I'm not really familiar with it. I do sort of think I remember someone telling me it's a dinosaur or a lizard or something, though I could very easily be confusing it with something else. Like a lot of cryptids, there's every chance it was something real that people have either exaggerated or imagined being something more than it is. And it could just be part of Aboriginal mythology, which I'm also not very familiar with. But if it is, it's probably not real and just a tale of some sort. Kind of like the tales about monsters living in bodies of water to scare people away from the water so they don't fall in and drown. It's easier to scare people than to tell them that they're idiots and they should be more careful, but I don't know anything about it. Obviously I could Google it, but that wouldn't be asking Herbert Erpaderp, that would just be asking Google, wouldn't it?
Hetz's Gunner Hetz said, what style of pizza do you prefer?
The kind that offends Italians is my favourite kind of pizza. I assume you mean like New York style or Detroit style or whatever, and I'm never really quite sure what those styles are. The names would suggest that they're a US thing and I'm not in the US. I know there's one that's a bit more like a pie with a tall edge and a lot of topping, and I can certainly get into that. That sounds amazing. And I'm pretty sure New York style is the one you see in the movies, where it's just sauce and cheese. Beyond that, I don't know what all of the place names mean as far as variations on toppings and stuff go. And I'm sure all of those kinds of pizzas exist in Australia, just with different names. Pizza here is usually either thin crust or a pan or whatever name they have for the thicker crust. if you even get a choice in what kind of base you get, and then it's usually named for what's on it, like Meat Lovers, which, believe it or not, has a bunch of meat on it, or barbecue chicken, the main ingredients being barbecue sauce and chicken. I guess the exception to that is Hawaiian, and even then a lot of places will just call that ham and pineapple. Obligatory pineapple belongs on pizza.
Trekan Belovic said, "Who is the most famous Australian idiot in your mind?"
Good question. I'm not really sure how famous the people I think are idiots are, like former Prime Minister Scummo. He's an idiot for sure, but is he famous? Probably not really. I doubt anybody outside of Australia knows who he is, and most of us wish we didn't know who he is. I'm sure there's plenty of famous sports people or pop stars or whatever that if I paid attention to them, I would think were idiots, but I guess what I'm saying is I don't have a real answer off the top of my head.
Herchen said, "Which, if any, YouTubers do you like to watch?"
I don't really watch as much YouTube as I used to. Nowadays I watch a lot of stuff over on Twitch, but lately a few of the channels I've been watching are Colonel Failure, Tested, Simon Whistler's 6,000 different channels, Laurie's Mechanical Marvels, Game Society Pimps, Millennial Farmer, Low End University, which is a bass teacher reacting to various songs, which I find quite interesting, and that's about all I can think of off the top of my head. There's plenty of other stuff that I like, but remembering things is hard when you're as old and crap as I am. And that's all the questions. I don't think I'll do the sharing of models thing, I'm already kind of tired of speaking, but I would certainly like to encourage you to go over to Discord and check out the models people are sharing, and maybe share some of your own. There's a lot of really cool stuff being shared, and I find it quite enjoyable and inspiring. Maybe you will too. So, that's the end of this episode of Ask a Herbert Erpaderp. I'm not sure when the next one will be. I guess when I feel like it and don't have anything more important to get done. Or maybe if there's a lot of questions. We'll see how it goes. Of course, if you do have questions, put them in the comments section below, or in the appropriate channel over on Discord. Another good place to ask questions would be on my live streams, either here on YouTube, or more frequently, over on Twitch. You'll probably get a faster answer there too. There's a link in the description. Okay, that's it. Take care of yourselves, be excellent to each other, and thanks for watching. Farewell.